Many people have made videos about 3D printing and the great supplement they give to the hobby. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use 3D printing to supplement my terrain building instead of replace it. I don't like printing large buildings because it takes a ton of plastic, tons of material, and it takes forever to actually print them. 3D printing excels at detail. It can deliver really great detail really fast. You might know Adam Savage from Mythbusters. On his YouTube channel, he talks at length about how they used to detail all the Star Wars models with parts from model kits, like tanks and battleships. I use 3D printing for a similar concept, except I don't have a lot of model kits, so I print my own. Take this set of models shared on Thingiverse. It's a set of parts you can print to go alongside a soda or beer can, and has various diameters for common can sizes. This is the perfect example of things you should be printing. I'll link it in the description. As you can see, it was pretty straightforward to jump right into the build. I grabbed some recycling I saved up in my workshop and got to work decorating the cans. The brackets fit nicely along the bottom with some hot glue, and you can pick various parts along the side and top to add the vents and fans. I also added my own flavor onto it by printing these little toothpick connectors that I designed in Tinkercad. These small parts let you make great looking pipe or rail details and jab them into the side of your build. They are very durable since the toothpick makes up the strength, whereas a 3D printed detail of similar shape might snap easily. They look quite detailed, even though the resolution on my FDM printer is not as good as some of the resin printers out there. I'll put a link to the files in the description if you want to use them yourself. For the cans themselves, I found that they need to be filled with something to stop your friends from accidentally compressing them on the table. Side thought, if you want to make a smashed up version of these, don't fill them in and experiment with destroying them. I used expanding spray foam, sprayed the insides thoroughly, and I had to make some incisions on the cans already started since I had put the caps on already. But this adds a look and I decided to lean into it. It sort of looks like it had some rust or corrosion and some of the panels had blown off and been repaired. For the longer tube, I joined two cans together and also added a walkway on top. Various wires and the toothpick detail greebles were added to give more visual interest. I primed all the pieces in a spray primer and got ready to paint them. Oh yeah, before I forget, which I did, was to add some ladders to make scaling these tanks easy for our dystopian model figures. They're made up of 1/4 inch chicken wire from the hardware store, and you can clip it with a pair of cable snips and then bend it into the shape as needed. I super glued some to the cans where it made sense. For the paint scheme, my patrons voted for a green base coat. It's like they know I like painting all my tubes green. I then made the accent color for all the vents, braces, and other details that stuck out as this brown color. To weather the whole terrain, I mixed together some tile grout and plaster until I got a lumpy mix. And then I brushed it into all the places I thought would get corrosion. So the bottom of the vents and more of the underside of the tank got some extra grime. When dry, this creates an awesome texture that we can leverage when painting, and it also hides some of the 3D printed layer lines. Another advantage of using 3D parts in this way is that the layer lines won't all be going in the same direction, which is always a dead giveaway that terrain was printed instead of casted or crafted. Once the grout mixture was dry, I continued to paint very thin layers until I had partial coverage on everything. Adding very diluted orange to give the illusion of heavy rust, and then dry brushing some metallic paint on some of the corners. I did several passes with a black and brown wash to give the proper level of grime. To give some more details, I cut out some stenciled hazard symbols and glued them on with PVA glue. For the graffiti, and to commemorate my newest patron, Berserker Brian, I cut out a stencil of his name and I glued it on. I then came in with a bit of red paint to make it look hand-painted. This method helps if you suck at freehanding, like I do. I made sure to give the underside of the can some extra attention as well, since in some configurations, it may be visible from the underneath if it's used as an overpass like this, for example. If you're on the fence about owning a 3D printer, I hope this inspires you to grab one and start printing little details like this. If you already had a 3D printer and didn't know what to print, hit the like button and start printing some awesome terrain details. Catch you all in the next one.